Hey everybody, it's a new week. It is Monday. Guess what that is? It is Momentum Monday. And if you're anything like me, getting started isn't always the hard part. It's uh it's staying consistent when you don't really feel like it. Let's just keep it real. So today I just want to talk about three things that can move us forward even when we have days where we don't feel like it. Days that feel kind of heavy or we all have it. Let's just keep it real. So I wrote out a couple of points that I wanted to cover today, and I did that so that I can kind of remember the points. For me, having ADHD and things are always going on in my mind, I have to kind of jot some stuff down to jog my memory. So you might see me kind of look at my notes a little bit. So I'm just being honest. Like this is me being um, just really transparent. So the first thing that I want to talk about this week, like I said, is three things. The first one is enthusiasm. So if you think about it, let's be real about it. You're not always enthusiastic on your journey. Sometimes it's hard to be enthusiastic when you're going through some things, when you're on that particular journey. Sometimes you feel tired. Sometimes you're discouraged. Sometimes you're even questioning yourself whether or not what you're doing is even working, right? But here's what I learned. You can create enthusiasm by reminding yourself why you started the journey, by celebrating small wins, um, and also just kind of speaking life into your journey. Encourage yourself, talk to yourself. Remember, even if you speak life over your journey, you tell yourself, you know, this is where I'm going to be. This is what, this is my goal. It, it might not even look like you're halfway there, but just speak life. You don't have to feel like you don't have to feel like you're winning all the time. Sometimes you just gotta act your way into it. You've gotta put on that brave face. You gotta tell yourself that you're already there, that you're still going. And I don't mean fake acting, but sometimes if you go into your job, sometimes you don't feel like going to work, but you put that smile on and you walk into that office anyway because you know that you have to be there and you want to have the good energy and a good day. So you try to put on that enthusiastic feeling about being there. Well, that's the same thing that you have to do with life, with your journey, where you are now. And yes, try to be enthusiastic about it. Create that enthusiasm. So that's the first thing. The second thing is energy. I wanted to say about energy, I'm not just talking about physical energy because we do need that, but I'm also talking about the mental energy and the emotional energy. Because if we're honest, you can have the time, but no energy. And then nothing gets done. So that might mean that you might need to get more rest, take breaks, and taking breaks without feeling guilty. Um, Maybe taking a day off, stepping back from negativity, and feeding your mind with positive things, um, watching or listening to positive podcasts. Me, I listen to positive podcasts, but I also have a spiritual routine where I study the Bible, and that brings me calm and clarity. But I wanted to go back to the one thing too about taking a break without feeling guilty, because sometimes I'm so tired that when I know I need to do work every day to bring in some income because I do the Spark delivery. So I know I need to go out there to make the money, but I just don't have the energy physically, emotionally, mentally. I'm tired. I just want to, like, let me just stay home for a day and recoup. But then I start feeling guilty because, like, man, I'm missing this money, and this bill is due and that bill is due, and that's that survival mode that kicks in on me, and then that starts making me feel guilty. So sometimes we just need to find that energy in those different aspects, right? So another thing I wanted to talk about, um, it's like sometimes during, I'm gonna get to my next point in a minute, but sometimes we need to get to that next level, and it doesn't require that we have more time. It really requires that we have a lot of rest and that we get more energy. So we have the first thing, enthusiasm. The second thing is energy. So the third thing is encouragement. And I think encouragement is the most powerful thing that keeps us going. But sometimes you don't always have someone to share your journey with. Sometimes you're on this road by yourself and you don't have anybody just cheering you on. So this is the beautiful part about encouragement. And actually, I can take this from a scripture too. Um, in Hebrews chapter 10, I think. Let me double check that. But that's, and this just hit me, the scripture just hit me, so forgive me because that wasn't going to be part of the video. But here's what I wanted to say. Hebrews chapter 10, verse is 24. Let's see. 25. It says, not forsaking our meetings together, but encouraging one another all the more as the day draws near. So it talks about being encouraging to one another. Now this has a scriptural context, I know, and it talks about being encouraging spiritually and being upbuilt, and in that sense. But we can also use this scripture when it talks about being encouraging to one another. So sometimes when you encourage others, you end up encouraging yourself. When you pour in to someone else, like a kind word, a nice comment, um, just being able to upbuild somebody else. That kind of comes right back to you, and that's what the scripture kind of helps us to appreciate here. So that was just a side note on, I mean, how also how the Bible helps us, right? But back to encouraging. We remind ourselves that we're not alone when we're trying to encourage and upbuild others. Don't always expect people to pour into you, but pour into other people. Um, that helps. That helps you to grow. It helps you to still feel like you've got something to give. Also, and then you get that back. So those were the 3 points I wanted to bring up. I wanted to talk about enthusiasm, energy, encouragement. So this week, if you're feeling or if you're trying to move forward and you're not really feeling all that enthusiastic, you're low on energy, you don't feel encouraged, think about those things. Don't make it complicated. Just move forward. Start with these 3 things. Just choose your enthusiasm, protect your energy, and give encouragement to someone else. Just take the next step. Don't try to take the whole staircase. Just take one step. When you do that, then you'll be able to move forward through the week in a positive way. It won't be perfect, but you'll still be moving forward and progressing. So if this video has helped you in any way, um, go ahead and drop a comment. Drop a comment on if you know someone who needs this, or share it with somebody that needs it. Comment on what's going to help you today. Okay, what's going to help you move through the week. I want you to be able to come here to this channel to find support and encouragement and to give it to others. So if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to my channel, like this video, share the video, drop your comment. Let me know you're here, and we can talk about it down below. So that is my Momentum Monday. And I hope that you enjoyed the video. And I'll see you on Wednesday from Welfare to Wednesday video. And that's it. That's me doing what I do and trying to move forward in my own journey and sharing and helping others. Okay, so have a great week, everybody. See you on Wednesday.